Joining me now is Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton. Senator, Biden's rhetoric, it's anti-American. I don't think he really even believes it. It's certainly not the same guy that a lot of people knew as kind of a bumbling, not so smart senator for decades on Capitol Hill. So what's really going on here?
Well, I think Joe Biden and the Democrats are frustrated that they can't remake the American political system so they never have to relinquish power. That's what today's debate is really about, Laura. They want to destroy the Senate rules and customs, not so they can say raise your taxes or they can confiscate your guns, or they would do those things, of course, but it's so they can do things like federalize our elections and take over the way elections are conducted in all 50 states, make Washington, D.C. a state so they get 2 Democratic senators in perpetuity, pack our courts to include the Supreme Court. That's what this is all about. The Democrats know that their agenda is massively unpopular and it's delivered catastrophic results for Americans, like the highest inflation in 40 years. So they want to remake our political system so they never have to relinquish power. They're so frustrated today because they had a couple Democratic senators stand up to them and say no. And I just can't imagine that Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema took very kindly to being compared to Jefferson Davis and George Wallace and Bull Connors.
Yeah,
Laura, you and I and half the country that opposed Joe Biden's election law, we have another reason to object to him, because all 3 of those people are Democrats. Remember, the Democratic Party was the party of slavery, secession, and segregation. The Republican Party was the party of equality for all.
Oh, that's just a bunch of racist history. That doesn't count. So to give you a sense, Senator, of how off balance Biden appeared today, this was just kind of, now we're getting used to these random outbursts, but watch.
We missed this time, and the state legislative bodies continue to change the law, not as to who can vote, but who gets to count the vote. Count the vote. Count the vote. It's about election subversion.
Senator, I guess when you say it 3 times and really loudly, it becomes more convincing.
Well, he seemed very confused and irritable during his trip to the Capitol today. Again, it's probably because his agenda is flailing. He didn't just lose his efforts to destroy the Senate and federalize our elections today. Thankfully, the Supreme Court ruled blocking the mandate on almost 100 million workers. Regrettably, they didn't protect health care workers from this mandate, so there's still more work to do there. It's been a very bad week, though, for Joe Biden, but that means it's been a very good week for the American people.
Senator, your response to Citigroup's decision, and I imagine other big woke corporations will follow, to begin systematically firing employees who have not been sufficiently vaxxed, and it's going to happen tomorrow. I guess tomorrow is when it all begins. Your reaction to Citigroup, they're pushing big in China, as you know, with their big securities application there.
Yeah, Laura, that is very disappointing news that you just broke on the show, and it's really pointless as well. I mean, Joe Biden and these Democrats have been pushing these mandates saying that if only everyone would get vaccinated, even if they already had the coronavirus, even if they have medical conditions that cause adverse reactions, then we'd all be safe. What we've seen now over the last month or so with the rise of the Omicron variant, that lots and lots of people who are vaccinated are getting the virus, and they're passing on the virus. So these mandates don't even have a point anymore. The point apparently is just to punish anyone who deviates from the Democratic Party line. I hope Citi and any company that's firing people or threatening to fire people because of their medical choices will rethink that decision.
Senator, were you surprised that Brett Kavanaugh went with the liberals, and I include the Chief Justice in that grouping, on the healthcare workers case? And are you surprised that Kavanaugh? Disappointed?
It was a disappointing decision, Laura. Like I said, I'm glad that the OSHA mandate that covers almost 100 million Americans was stopped. But the healthcare mandate covers almost every healthcare facility in this country. And I've heard from nurses and other healthcare providers across the state of Arkansas that they are struggling to keep their doors open, struggling not just to care for the people they have with COVID in their facilities, but all the other medical conditions they have as well. No. People are pushing out surgical procedures that are oftentimes life-saving. So I hope the administration will reconsider it. And if they don't, then Congress should.
Now, Senator, thank you.